Okie dokie.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the BAM Sports Show. We apologize for the technical difficulties last evening. We hope that we don't have them tonight. So far, we are looking good, looking strong. I'm joined tonight, as always, with that dude, Ryan. How are you, buddy?
Tired. Super
Yeah,
tired.
you're tired tonight, I know. Yeah, you've been working that double duty with the actual work stuff and then
Working on
doing
my.
the stuff at your dad's, right?
Yep. Getting her ready to sell. Shouldn't be long.
Yeah.
And then I got two softball games tomorrow
Well,
night.
hopefully the Ooh, Mr. Athlete.
I'm going to just sleep for a day.
Look,
Look,
so I need you to go at least. You get how many at bats in a game? What, three?
usually 3 to 4, depends on where I'm hitting in the order.
Well, I expect you to be at the top of the order,
I
sir.
am in one.
So top of the order for you. And so I'm looking for like five for eight, 5 for 8
Overall,
tomorrow, dude.
for the whole night. Sounds about right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to
yeah.
go. I'm gonna try to
Do it, man.
go 8 for 8 or 9 for 9 if it's a good game. That's my goal.
Channel your inner Aaron Judge. Did you see that NFL or that MLB exec say Aaron Judge would not go to a loser like the Cubs?
Yes, and in context, it's hilarious. You know, like it. I don't think he was meaning like the Cubs are a bunch of losers. He's a goofy way of saying that Judge wants to go to a contender. And right now the Cubs aren't
I
a
agree. I
contender.
agree as well.
Contender, but it's just so funny how it's phrased everywhere, like a loser club, like the Cubs.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. Once I looked at it, I was like, well, of course Joe's gonna want to go to a contender, like,
Right.
you know. But hell, he may win a ring this year with the Yankees.
Yeah, you know the way they're playing.
They look good. They look mighty good. So we started talking a little bit about it yesterday. We'll kind of get back to our home sport of football here. We
Foosball.
didn't really get to dig into it yesterday, but Watson settled what 20 of
20 of
26
24.
or 24, right?
Yeah, there's still some weirdness in the language about those two that were going to be added but never were added to the thing. I don't know. But still, 24.
Hmm. So, and I mean, we say like they're like, I'm sure they're signing non-disclosure agreements, right?
Oh yeah, that was part of the big
Like
story a
I
couple
would
of weeks
assume.
ago with the Texans actually providing Watson the language for the NDAs, like team lawyers.
Right. What I'm saying, like, I'm saying they're probably having these girls in these settlements
Oh
sign an
yeah.
additional,
Oh yeah, most likely.
NDA. So my question out there, and I'm not a legal guy, and Ryan, I don't know if you can answer this or anyone that listens to the show. So like, look at the Vince McMahon issue
Mhm.
currently going on, right? Like, he had an affair, had an affair with an employee. We got to mention that.
Mhm.
And then he paid her essentially $3 million to kind of, hey, keep this shush
Hush
hush, go
hush.
away. This is hush money. She did sign an NDA though.
Mhm.
But now here we are years later. This is coming out. Like, I guess repercussions wise, like, what is like this girl looking at?
I don't think
Is she looking at
anything.
repercussions? I just
I don't.
like what.
I don't think NDAs are. I think they have to have an end date. I don't think they're in perpetuity. Um,
Oh, okay. So that would
it's,
be an interesting. So if he paid her, $3 million and it expired on June 1st, 2022,
well,
or
here's the thing though.
10
Actually,
years from signing the document.
what I'm looking now, and why I said I don't know for sure, but as long as they're kept secrets, trade secrets do not expire. Likewise, the confidentiality obligations in an NDA should have no expiration date. But I don't know if that's for something like this. You know what I mean?
Right, right. That's interesting.
'Cause
I really don't know. I was just
there's varying information out there that I've seen, and I am not a lawyer.
yeah. So if you are a lawyer, I've got actually a couple of lawyer friends I'm gonna reach out to because I'm
Just call
curious
them, get them
on.
on the Zoom now. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm sure Katie would love that. Calling her at 10:30 at night if she's watching.
She should be watching
No,
anyways.
she's a no. I know Katie. She is tanked right now watching the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Ah, well,
She's one of the biggest hockey fans I know. I love that girl to death. I guarantee she's screaming at a
boy.
TV right now.
I have it on, so I will be
Yeah.
reacting live. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I do not. We're trying to save Wi-Fi in the country life here. So
Well, me and my
20
big
20 of
city
24,
living.
So what do you think Yeah, you and your big city living.
Yeah.
What do we think the hang up on the 4 is? Terms, money?
Probably money, or maybe they want to actually make a case out of this. You know what I mean? I think all along most people thought with Busby being involved that it's a money grab kind of situation. Like they would,
Sure.
they were gonna settle anyways, kind of deal. But I mean,
Right.
they might be pushing for more, or they might be pushing for. Well, I guess really all they could push for is more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird
'Cause it's just a civil
like,
case.
It's the same attorney that's representing all 24 of them, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's
which
not
I
a
thought-
different attorney.
I thought it would have been no. It's the same attorney because it says
Right.
Tony Buzz. 20 of his 24 clients, and so maybe it's something about things going on the record if they take it the full distance. I really don't know. We could speculate all
Yeah.
day long.
But
at the end of the day,
30 for 30.
right? At the end of the day, like they want money, and it's probably just more money. Something happened.
Yeah.
What happened?
In the hockey game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
you
that
said that, and I was like, shit, did my Zoom freeze up again?
Nope.
So, in case you're wondering, we on this show are rooting for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I say we on this show because Rob is not rooting for them, but he also has not been on the show in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So,
Rob. You don't get a say.
His Southside Sox Rob does not get a show vote currently.
Nope.
We're kidding. We love you, Rob. He's at work tonight.
I'm going for
So
the
what
Lightning because their CEO was real nice to a guy. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
And also
I
then
remember you sent me that, and you were like, "The owner's really cool," and I was like, "Is the owner or the CEO?" You're like, "Fuck you, it's the CEO." I'm like, well,
yeah, I was gonna say if it's the owner, he's probably a shithead anyways, like most of them are. But then the Avs are owned by the ultimate shithead, Stan Kroenke. Kroenke.
So that kind of leads me into the next talking point, right? I don't know if you saw any of it today. Dan Snyder got subpoenaed.
Yep.
Did you watch any of the footage from the court
With Goodell?
with Goodell?
Yeah, I have thoughts. I've only watched a few clips, but
Let's
I don't
hear your
know.
thoughts then.
It's just it's not so much on the situation; it's on people asking the questions. I don't think
I got
the
you.
right questions were asked from the right people, and then fucking Jim Jordan, piece of shit. He's just continually, purposefully calling them the Redskins instead of the Commanders, and I don't know. It's mostly a political thing. Is why I had
So-
things.
I got you. So we don't go politics on this show, but sports-wise, what did you think about Goodell saying he doesn't have the authority to remove Dan Snyder as an owner?
He doesn't. I mean, it was just the truth.
Which I agree. I would agree with you. But I think I guess the statement itself is just kind of like I get what he's saying. Like I don't
Yeah.
have the authority to do that. So what is the authority for that? Is that owners voting? And do you
Yeah.
have to have 31 of 32? Do you have to have
20,
17 of 31?
24 of 32 teams. So an NFL owner can be removed only by a 3/4 majority vote. So 24 of 32
Okay.
teams. Um, Now Goodell has the ability to recommend the vote, but it would really, at that point, you would be leaning on somebody like Jerry Jones, who's kind of
So
the de facto.
who would
You
said
know,
he has the ability to recommend it. So who would present that to the owner? Or could another owner could
yeah, say he does go
you know,
to Jerry Jones because again, Jones is kind of like a de facto bigwig in the owner circle, and say,
Sure.
hey, I think that Snyder should be excommunicado for these reasons, and at that point, then it's the balls in Jerry Jones or whoever's court to bring it up to the other owners.
Yeah.
No, I did not say boner, Rob. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm tired and baked. Leave me alone.
I was thinking about that, you know, and like, does it set a precedent, like, if we start removing owners, like, for other owners to be removed? Like, I don't know.
I think they're all smart enough to know that, like, you know, they're all a bunch of rich snakes. And I don't mean that in a derogatory term, but like, you know, let's say, we want to kick out Jim Irsay now because of whatever bullshit reason. Okay, well, if you give me this vote, you'll be safe from me recommending you, or you know, some sort of weird political play. I think they're all smart enough to know that that's such a small community that being a shitbag doesn't travel far.
Yeah, well, you got to keep your alliances, right? Like,
right.
I guess. Which is unfortunate because I mean, there needs to be a change of ownership there. On countless, you know, you've got just from the money, the financial standpoint of it, of him hiding money, you know, then you've got all the, you know, sexual harassment allegations with the cheerleaders, and
the prostitution allegations,
and yeah,
and the human trafficking allegations. Like,
right.
He's a bad fucking guy.
Yep.
So I don't think that
the NFL, unfortunately, they're not going to do anything about it. Not going to do anything that they should be doing about the situation.
Right. They, you know, the most Goodell can do is fine the team up to a certain amount. I don't know the certain amount, but I know that there's language in there that says like the highest fine can only be this much. Kind of like with baseball and the Astros. They fined them $2 million, which everybody thought correctly that's just literally not even it's a kiss on the wrist. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But I think there's like language in the ownership contracts with Major League Baseball that's the maximum fine.
That's just, I still just can't fathom. You know, you have proof that they cheated to win a championship.
Right.
Oh, but here we are thinking that, you know, we're putting faith in the system and faith in people that are getting paid millions of dollars a year, you know,
right,
for the love of the game. I just can't see it. So, but then I was started trying to tell you last night from my Wi-Fi, it was like, hey, tonight's show, we're going to be done with that. They were saying, you know, anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks for Watson, but some people are saying a year, that he may get the full season.
I think he should get more. I think they need to make an example of it. I mean, Roethlisberger, for one lady, man, I got allergies in this eye from all the dust today, and it is itchy, and I forgot we were on YouTube. So I'm just here with this one super red eye. Also, the stupid Avalanche just won. Spoiler alert.
Fuck. God damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck.
Fuck.
That sucks.
Yep.
I do not like that at all, because that...
Flash some.
Ugh.
Robert says he feels like he's at a funeral. Yeah, we're mourning
The
the death
Lightning
of
may-
you in
Yeah.
our podcast. Anyways, Roethlisberger got 8 games for, one girl. Now, if we extrapolate that out to the 66 that he had signed NDAs with or whatever, he should be gone for a career. But I think I think what'll happen is he'll get, what is it now? A year and a half, basically. I think they'll fine him 1 year
Yeah.
plus half a season, or suspend him, and then they'll come back and settle on 1 year.
I would agree.
I
would
think
agree.
I think
So
both
then-
parties know that, okay, 1 year suspended, but then the question is, he was not in football last year. Can they
What about...
retroactively instate that? I don't think they can. But who
Yeah, I don't
knows?
know. I mean, his camp's gonna fight for it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that being an option.
Yeah, I don't
But then
think
what
it is.
happens? So if think about this. So okay, they say, hey, Watson, you got a year and a half. What is that? So 17 playing, you get a 25 game suspension.
Yeah.
They come back and say, hey, we want to appeal it 17 games. Right? So what
Mhm.
happens to Houston? I mean, we're acknowledging the fact that Deshaun fucked up. Are we just going to pretend that Houston wasn't involved and, hey, no harm, no foul there? And then on top of it, if I'm Cleveland, like, yo, we just traded you all this shit. Like, now granted,
I mean, they knew what they were getting
they did
into.
it expecting. They knew it, doing it, but it takes us back to that trade. Like, okay, what is there going to be additional compensation coming back to Cleveland from
No.
Houston in the form of a punishment from the NFL?
If anything, the NFL is going to dock them a mid-round pick. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, oh, you'll lose your 2024 second-round pick or something. Maybe a financial fine against the owner or the GM or whoever. I don't think that the NFL has much power there.
Yeah,
they should.
That's probably
They
fair.
should,
we're talking
because this
about a
is-
league
A team that was meddling in this.
correct.
Rob says he
I mean,
believes
it's one thing
8
if the
games.
team's not involved. Well, I don't know. I think I still think we see at a minimum a year. Maybe it's appealed down, but then okay, so we're talking training camp in about 3 weeks,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So we've got to have a decision, I would assume, in the next week and a half, which gives them a week and a half to appeal and
Yes.
give them a decision before training camp.
I think that with the
The
flow of news that we're getting right now, because for a while there wasn't much news because processes were still happening, but now we've got this more open flow of news around it. I think that means we're probably going to see something by I'll say, if not next Friday, the following Friday. And the NFL will always drop, big news like this around like 3:30. So it doesn't it gives people less time to question them about it before they're like, offices are
Sure.
closed for the weekend. See ya, bye.
Well, and that would be next Friday. Would be going into the holiday weekend.
Right.
So there's another kind of distraction, I guess, working for the NFL.
Mhm.
So, but then that only gives them a week to appeal, which, who knows how long that sort of process would take.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if
Yeah.
they did something like a Josh Gordon type situation where we're going to effectively soft ban him from the league indefinitely, and say that he can reapply or apply for reinstatement in a year or something like that.
That would be interesting because then again, that takes us back to the trade. You
Again,
know, like
I don't think anything will come of that because picks were already made with those picks that were sent.
right, yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
Like, and they can't.
Can you imagine the NFL called Houston was like, "Hey, by the way, you got to send this player, and this player to Cleveland."
Yeah, and that's the thing is, who knows if they even wanted those players?
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like,
Yeah, it
obviously,
would be
there's
a
a lot of
crazy.
talent there, but there was a lot of talent with those picks that were made in areas that they're already fairly talented in Cleveland.
Right. It'll be. I'm.
It's an
This is the most
interesting
interested
thing.
I've been in an off season,
Oh yeah, it's been the craziest off season.
and I mean, maybe it's because we started the show and we talk about random stuff more,
Hmm.
but like this whole off season's been to me it's just been crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many different headlines there's been. Like at first it was all the big names being traded and shit like that, but
Yep.
now like you're looking at more big names that still haven't signed, that aren't
Hmm.
going to be signed. And then, you got to think we've got training camps happening and then football starts, right? And then the cool thing is for a lot of these guys that don't make squads is the XFL is doing their draft in November.
Yep.
So those guys are going to stay ready. So I think this coming season, we're going to see a lot more guys signed that are not on rosters to either practice squads or to game day rosters because of that XFL draft combine, or I guess not combine, just the draft there in
I think they
November.
have a combine too, but I don't know if current NFL
Well,
players
they've been
can.
having them.
Oh, they've been
They've already been
having them.
having
That's
them.
right. That's right.
Yeah, I think two of them have already happened, two different locations. And I don't know, like, so for the USFL guys, like, they can start signing with NFL teams. I wanted to say Friday.
Like last Friday or this Friday.
I think it's this coming Friday. Because I remember thinking, oh, okay, that's cool. So then I was like, okay, well, what happens if, like, you get drafted by the XFL in November, and then the following week, undoubtedly somebody gets hurt, and you get a phone call from the NFL? Like, does that make you now ineligible for the XFL?
It's an interesting.
Like, there's got to be some give or take there, right?
Well,
If the
so here's
NFL's
the
invested
XFL
in
and
both.
the. Yeah, I was gonna say the XFL and NFL are now kind of tied together, so I think there's probably
Right.
language in there that says that because the let's see what is that league? The Atlantic League, I think is what it is. It's an independent ball, but they're the place that the Major League Baseball tests out a lot of these upcoming rule
Yes.
changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and I don't know exactly what it could be. The Atlantic League, it could be something else, but it's out east, and to me, I feel like this could be a situation like that as well. I mean, I already know that is going to be kind of how it is, but I don't think that's. I don't think there's going to be like a banning of players from one or the other. You know what I mean? Banning is not the
Yeah. And I
right
don't.
word, but
I don't think you're gonna see, like, a bunch of swaps, but like it was just curious to me
yeah,
because I think about it. Like if I'm a young kid and like I want to play in the NFL, and I'm like I accept my path. Like, okay, I did not get drafted out of college. My path is to go to the XFL, get some more game reps, whatever, get my
right.
tune up a little bit, and then I get drafted. I'm excited about that opportunity. I settle on that opportunity. The NFL calls and says, "Hey, by the way, come up. We got an opportunity for you. You might make the team." I
It
just,
happens in the CFL all the time.
oh, I bet it does. I'm
You
sure it
know,
does.
the Bears plucked a few people a couple of years ago from the CFL that I thought were going to make it in the NFL, and they never did.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's the other part of it. So did you see they had Mike Tomlin on that the show. It's called The Pivot, and what he was talking about, like with coaching and
I
stuff
have
like
not
that.
seen that actually.
So really, really cool interview. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Because I mean, Mike Tomlin's a fantastic coach, probably one of the greatest
Yeah.
coaches of all time. And he was talking about like coaches, modern day coaches run from coaching. Like they read a scouting report and it says like has bad hands, and Tomlin was like, I can teach that. Like that's a coachable moment. It's a
Right.
coachable experience. I can do that. So they were saying like, okay, like some guys come in the league and like what is that timeline? Like, okay, we'll work with you for 2 weeks to see if we can get you where you need to be. And he was like, there's no really like hard set timeline roadmap. Like it's different for every single person that comes into the league. And he was like, but when you get to that point, you both know it.
Right.
Like it's just not working out. So I'm really curious to see how much the USFL and the XFL really brings to these kids that try to make it to the NFL. And I really wonder if we're going to start to see, like they have the college combine. Like, are we going to see an NFL combine? Like a non-college, like a free agent combine once a year. Like if these
Practice squad
kids,
combine.
yeah, something where these kids that have been putting in the time and the work
Hmm.
and doing all this stuff in the USFL and the XFL, that maybe it's a second stringer, in the XFL, so they're not getting the game one reps for whatever reason on the coach. But man, they show up at the combine, they ball out, and they get an opportunity. I think that'd be really cool by the NFL.
Yeah. It's the next. Obviously, nothing's going to be really learned in the first year. Like we'll see how it works together, but like I'm interested to see how this is going, and hopefully year 5. Year 5,
Yeah,
we've got a
that's
really good idea of the relationship between the two leagues. And I mean, I think if you can make it 3 seasons with the XFL, keeping people's attention, I think you have a long lasting thing. But I think they have to make it 3 straight seasons without any XFL bullshit to really gain a foothold. You know,
Yeah, well, and it's gonna have to be a better product than the USFL,
much better.
and I see it's weird for me because I didn't hate the USFL, so I just can't put a finger on it. Maybe it was the fans.
Or the
Maybe it
lack
felt
of.
like I was watching yeah, maybe
Hmm.
it felt like I was watching practices as opposed to games or scrimmages, you know. But it does sound like the XFL will be in stadiums and they're not going to be, at a host from what it sounds like.
It sounds like
Uh,
maybe the playoffs will be in a host city, and then everybody else is in their own city,
yeah, which
like
I
how it
think
should
needs to,
be.
I mean, yeah, that's,
It
you know,
worked. It worked with the NBA and the bubble with the screens because that's a much smaller playing surface. It
correct.
worked really. I thought it was really cool, but like, you can't do that with football. You gotta have fans.
Agreed 100%. And I think the XFL would be really missing the boat and really missing an opportunity if they didn't start the season with fans. So
Might as
I think
well.
we'll have that.
Might as well call them the
So, and hopefully we
TFL
have
right now,
news.
the Texas
Right.
Football League,
Lack
because
of.
you got all 3 Texas teams now. Maybe
I
I don't
call
know.
it the lack of
That's
fucking news.
yeah. Well, we
And
had a
should
couple
have
of
no.
terrible news stories out of the NFL as well. 26 years old, Ravens linebacker Jalen Ferguson was found passed away in his home. Um, I think he's still the FBS, college football uh,
Hmm.
career leader in sacks with 45. He went to Louisiana Tech. Ferguson holds the FBS record for career sacks with 45. In 3 seasons, he's had 67 tackles and 4.5 sacks. He was a bit player, but
Yeah.
they found him Tuesday night and just never regained consciousness. Crazy. 26 years old.
Sad.
Very sad. And then also the Goose. Tony Saragusa, passed away at the young age of 55.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened there. But man, he was good on the field, but he was awesome.
He was one of my favorite dudes on Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he on Sundays, dude, on Fox. Oh man. He was one of my favorites. They when he left the broadcasting crew, they lost that.
Oh yeah, they lost
like
some
happy-go-lucky.
huge. It's just he was kind of that guy that like one of those rare guys that you see on TV that you're like, man, I could have a beer with him. I want to hang out with him kind of guys. I don't want to hang out with Troy Aikman or Chris Collinsworth or Joe Buck.
Oh, I agree. 100%. Like I said, he's one of my favorites. And definitely be missed. Definitely be missed.
Yep.
So Avalanche win, so they go up 3-1 on that series. Hopefully Tampa's not dead.
They looked pretty tired, but they got a couple of days off.
That first period looked good, though.
Yes, it did.
I mean, they got a day off playing Friday.
Sounds like some NBA news. The draft is happening tomorrow night, I think. Right? Yep. Blazers got Jeremy Grant from the Pistons for a protected 2025 first round pick and additional draft assets, quote quote. So that's our first cog, first shoe to drop in the NFL draft or in an NBA draft trade circus. They always have the most wild
like
fucking trades too.
Kobe White will be a what?
So they always have the craziest draft trades too. It's always like a 6 first-round picks or something like that for one player. But I guess it's even crazier that they only have 2 picks. This is a first and a second round. That's it.
Yeah. But they also have like the additional leagues, right? Like the G leagues. And
yeah.
Like that.
And they could sign like undrafted guys and stuff, which is where I think Kofi will be in the draft. I think he'll be the top or
You watched that movie Hustle?
Not yet.
Dude. Bo Cruz. Boston would have won. They'd have beaten Golden State if they didn't cut Bo Cruz.
Bo Cruz. I didn't even know that was a real person's name.
He's the white MJ, according to Adam Sandler.
The white MJ. All right.
It's a good movie.
Like you were going to say.
The last night that Kobe White will be a Bull. Sounds like he'll be on his way out of town tomorrow. Good for him. He needs a restart somewhere. It's not Chicago.
I like him. I thought he was a pretty good
not...
basketball player. I don't know much, but you got Ayo now.
I like Kobe. He doesn't fit in the current. Like if we're the process went from like, hey, we're gonna be good in 4 or 5 years,
right,
to when they got signed to AK and me, to hey, we're gonna be good in like 2 years. So again, I like Kobe. He's just kind of the odd man out right now in Chicago.
And if you can deal your 18th pick and Kobe and get
to bring in like a Rudy, and a win now player. Plus, they've got money in free agency still. They're saying Levine's going to sign the $200 million max, which I think is astronomical that we're paying anybody that amount of money.
Hey.
And I'm not saying just as like the Bulls or like Zach Levine. Like that's not a dig on either of them. The fact that any human individual on this fucking planet is getting paid $200 million over 5 years to play basketball.
It's wild, man. They're marketing though. They're big they're human billboards.
Oh yeah. But that doesn't include, endorsement deals and additional contracts. But whatever, But if the Bulls were to get Rudy from Utah and then sign like a PJ Tucker or something, dude, that's a scary fucking team.
I mean, if they get Rudy,
Like,
they have to be contenders for the number one spot in the East at that point.
yeah.
Kobe was the last Garpax draft pick, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So he's kind of like
Which
the
again
Javi Baez of,
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, again, Kobe is just kind of the odd man out right now in Chicago, which it's nothing against him, right?
Yeah,
like
like
I
you
like
said,
him, you like him.
you
I
give
think
him
he
a
can
better
play, and
start.
he's just
Give him a new start in a better area, somewhere where he actually has a spot on that team, and I think he'll flourish.
yeah, I agree.
Excuse
I
me.
agree.
You got a live
So
burp
we'll
there.
see live burp coming at you
Oh.
through your wavelengths. If you're not watching this show live, by the way, we are now live streaming this show every Tuesday, hopefully, and Friday
Most
at 10:15
Tuesdays
on our
and
YouTube
some
channels.
Fridays. Most Tuesdays, some Fridays.
But you notice my wife is not on Disney Plus tonight. We're not having any issues.
Was she watching Kenobi last night?
She's out there. They were watching some Star Wars. I don't know. Her and her dad.
That's what I'm
But
going to be doing
they're
as soon as
fighting
this is
right now,
done.
so he's in his room watching something on his phone, and she's watching Hulu. So whatever. Didn't take my Disney Plus stream. So other exciting news. I know we were talking about this in the group chat earlier. Next week on Tuesday, our boy Chip is coming back to hang out with us.
Chip?
Chip? Yeah, I'm excited. He won the title and that tournament champions, and then he defended his title this last weekend in Niles, Michigan. Angle slammed the dude for the fucking win, bro.
Nice.
And it was
awesome.
a big dude. Like this dude looked like the Roman Reigns of the HCW.
Jeez.
And Chip fucking Angle aimed this bitch, and then yeah, it was really cool. So he'll be joining us next Tuesday. We still have Brad with NFA coming out to hang out with us here soon, working on locking down a date. And then before we kind of wrap it up with a little more sports talk, the other cool thing, if you are not watching us live on YouTube, you cannot see what I'm wearing. However,
it's
you are
a
joining
sexy
us on YouTube.
nurse outfit. Oh, Blake, put your penis away. Oh.
We
Oh,
are
that's your
coming out
nipple?
with a
Oof.
full merchandise line. We got t-shirts, hoodies, koozies, beer steins, coffee mugs. We're working on getting hats. We'll have that site out to you guys hopefully this week. Our merchandise company is working on getting all that updated for us. We've got a bunch of different colors, different styles, different designs, all that cool stuff. So, hey, support the show, buy some couple coffee mugs. I know if you're like me, you collect them. I do. I always buy random coffee mugs for the random
I used
coffee in the
to.
morning.
My wife got rid of them.
Are you a coffee guy, Ryan?
No, I need coffee right now.
I was always a big energy drink guy, and I was like, well, I should probably stop drinking. And
yeah.
Man, at one point, dude, I was drinking like, if you're a doctor, please don't hate me. I was drinking like 3 to 4 monsters a day.
Oh my god. Well, that's why
Yeah,
you
dude,
lost
it was
your
bad,
toe.
so- Well, that's not why I lost my
The monster
toe,
goes
'cause
straight
I
to
had a
your
toe.
It takes 4
I had a
years.
toe when I was doing that.
It takes 4
had a
years
toe.
for it to dissolve. Ugh.
So yeah, so now I just drink coffee.
I
And,
need to.
I like
But-
different coffee mugs. I got this cool one. I don't know if you've seen it. If I send you a video, it's a Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard on it, and as the coffee like heats up the mug,
Oh, that's
flames kind
cool.
of coming from behind. Dude, yeah, it's cool. It's real cool. So, baseball, anything exciting there?
Cubs had a pretty big game tonight. That's
They scored all of their runs for the next week this evening.
yeah. Yep. It comes in waves, really short, steep, peaked waves, and then it's just flat.
Very flat.
Yeah, right now, I mean,
Is that a 3-game
baseball's
set or a 4?
3-3. Pretty sure it's 3.
Keith, if you're watching, tell us in chat, is this a 3 or a 4-game set?
Keith ain't watching. He don't want this smoke.
He's watching.
Oh.
I think he's watching, my friend.
What's today? Today is Wednesday. Thursday. Nope, it's 4-game.
Keith says 4.
They play
Keith is
tomorrow.
watching.
What? No way.
Yep, it's a 4-game set. Yeah, so we have a chance to split. We won't maybe not lose the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates, but
Justin Steele versus Jose Quintana.
Ooh. Of course, fucking Q's gonna probably no-hit us.
Of course, he always does when he plays us. It's stupid. Keegan Thompson got the win tonight in the 14-5 game.
11:45 start tomorrow, Keith says.
Yep.
Day game for baseball. I'll take it.
Lunchtime baseball. I can get into that.
It's always good to have it on in the background while I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta get out to the property tomorrow, see how much progress they made. They hit rock yesterday, so they were like a 1.5 feet short of where they needed to get to, and they hit a fucking rock plate.
Good old Missouri.
Missouri.
You've got
Get
some
out
more
there and watch how much
players
progress they made on that.
heading over to the LIV. Bryson DeChambeau's best bud, Brooks Koepka, is now playing on the LIV tour. The PGA Tour Commissioner, Jay Monahan, came out and said, "We welcome good, healthy competition. The LIV Saudi Golf League is not that. It's an irrational threat." Oh, it just refreshed and I lost that. There it is. "It's an irrational threat, one not concerned with the return on investment or true growth of the game." So, Koepka, 8-time winner, earned nearly $38 million on the tour, lured away by a signing bonus of, quote, more than $100 million.
But here's the shitty thing, right? Like the PGA Tour now says, "Hey, we're gonna have this tournament and payouts $25 million." It's like now that the LIV is offering money to your people, now all of a sudden, PGA, you can pony up the cash. That's my issue with the PGA, and that's why I like what the LIV is doing. I get it. Saudi Arabia money is bad, but every company's money is bad. Let's be honest these days.
Well, some are worse. Some are worse.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing, but I don't know.
No,
I know
I
you
get
don't
it.
like that. But I think for the sport of golf, like if you're a fan of golf, which I'm not even gonna call myself a fan of golf, like I'm not. But if that's what you enjoy, the competition to grow the sport.
See, what I like, though, is in the PGA Tour, you've got 2 separate contests in a weekend, basically. You've got Thursday, Friday, your first and second round, and then you've got the cut. And then you've got the Saturday, Sunday golf, which is to see who wins. All right, your first 2 days scores matter in the long run, but there's the cut. If you're not good enough, you miss the cut. Phil did it a couple of weeks ago. The LAV doesn't have that. You know,
it's just 3 rounds, isn't it?
It changes a lot, and you know, it's the money thing is whatever. You know, these players getting, you know, I don't think it helps the game of golf when a player's already making $100 million and they don't have to play their best golf. You know what I mean? Because
right,
they got paid for showing up.
But it's bringing more attention to it right now.
I still don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't watch golf, but I had the U.S. Open on this past weekend just in the background because it's been a hot topic.
Yeah. But so you're watching.
And I did try one of your golf naps.
My golf naps?
But
they're the greatest.
But But to take it back, so like 2 weeks ago or so, maybe 3 weeks ago, I logged on work stuff on a Saturday morning, and I pulled up YouTube to have something on in the background, and there was a live coverage, and I had that on the background, and that was cool because it was very interactive and like very modern, I felt. But again, I'm not a golf fan. I'm not the traditionalist when it comes to golf. So
yeah, I just don't
like,
think that I don't think that this was the right thing to do. And again, it does come down to the Saudi money. It's real bad people that bankrolled, the worst terrorist attack that we've had on American soil, kind of thing.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing there by any means.
But then it's the gameplay changes. It's the paying the big signing bonuses and the appearance fees, and no, there's not going to be for a lot of these big name guys, there's not going to be a I don't want to say drive to win because they're professionals. Obviously, they want to win, but I don't think there's going to be that incentive to win.
Sure.
Because they already made their money.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, but we don't see I guess that counter argument there would be the NFL. Like these guys are making buku bucks too.
Yeah. But there's a
like
championship at the end, and it's a championship that means something.
I mean,
I will say, though, it is great that a lot of the most disliked golfers are in the live now. So now I don't have to hear about them on tour weekends.
I think golf would be really entertaining if they adapted some of the WWE rules, like, hey, instead of like a one-hole playoff, let's do a tables match. And my boy Brock is back. I know
wrestling in the Gator Pit. I think
Brock is back.
I think they need to do more NASCAR style stuff. I want a whole weekend of night golf. Play an entire tour stop at night. I mean, it'd be fucking awesome.
Cool. So Keith in chat says the WWE sold out to Saudi too. He hates it. So
yeah,
I guess at least somebody's on your team there.
Lots of people are on my team. What if? Well, I guess it is kind of a road course. So what if they NASCAR it up and they play, a full tour on just like an executive 9-hole course? So now they have to play the same holes twice.
Yeah,
in a round. Just throwing spaghetti at a wall at this point.
That's interesting. I think if the PGA wants to continue to grow, I guess, with the modern, they're gonna have to. I think the glow round would be cool, like at night round, like that'd be dope.
That's never been in any media at all, and I'm just trying to make it happen. I'm trying to will it to happen. I want night golf, professional night golf.
Bring on. I know a bunch of disc golfers play glow rounds for disc golf, so I wonder how it would work with ball golf.
There's courses out there that have, I don't know if it's a full 18 or if it's just like 3 holes that you could play at night, but there are courses out there that have night golf.
So if you've ever played night golf, drop it in our comments. Tell us what you thought. We'll get you on the show. We'll get your feedback and your experience, because I think that'd be cool. Part of the reason I wouldn't like golf is because it's too fucking hot.
Oh, I love it.
I do not do good in heat.
I don't either.
I do not do good.
I'm terrible in heat.
I'm like a sissy boy. I do not. So like night golf, I think I could do like outside. That's one of our favorite disc events for the dogs is the night of the disc golf or disc dogathon, because we play at night under the lights.
Playing anything under the lights is so much better. Like, I hate when we have softball games that are early, like a 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock softball game. I'm playing in the sun. This sucks. But like, I got an 8 o'clock and a 9 o'clock game tomorrow night. Oof. Sun's going down. It's starting to cool off. The lights come on.
Night games. So, last story before we kind of wrap this up tonight. When I was in college at Cincinnati, they played. We did like the intramural football, like flag football league. And the big thing that I loved most about Cincinnati was the football stadium that the Bearcats play on is right smack dab in the middle of campus.
Nice.
So like if you're walking to class and like it's easiest for you to cut across the fucking field, you literally can walk across the 50-yard line, go up the stairs, and like you have access to the field. Unless the team is practicing, you have access to the field. So that was like, I was like, okay, that's a really cool selling point to me. Like I can come down here and sit on the CPAW and study, like whatever, So it was really cool. But in intramural, they played a lot of games at Nippert under the lights. Talk about cool, dude. Like I cheered big games. I cheered the Sugar Bowl, I cheered the Orange Bowl. I was at the Sugar Bowl. Dude, playing flag football on Nippert Stadium under the lights, man, it was like one of the coolest experiences because a lot of those big schools, I feel like there's a big divide, right? Like between the students and the athletes.
Yeah.
Like
separate classes.
To me, it really connected everything. And I thought that was one of the really cool selling points on Cincinnati. So if you're looking for a school, check out UC.
So
plug for the night.
Going back real quick, the European tour, which has made a habit of trying new things, experimented with night golf under the lights at the 2018 Dubai Desert Classic. So yeah, I mean,
well, Keith is saying in chat right now there's a course in Vegas that's night golf.
Let's go. Right now.
So we got to book it. I guess we got to book a trip to Vegas.
I got to come down to St. Louis soon and go to the Top Golf.
Yeah, dude.
I've still never done Top Golf. I think
Top
after
Golf
I
is a
sell my
blast.
dad's house, I might buy some new clubs and go down to Top Golf.
No. You use their clubs.
Well, I know, but I'm just, like, it's unrelated, but also I want to go down to Top Golf.
I got you. All right, everybody, don't forget we are dropping our new merch line. It'll be out hopefully this weekend. We'll get that site out to you guys. Buy some shirts, buy some koozies. You might even get a cool surprise in your package.
It's
wink, wink.
Blake's taint sweat.
Whoa, it is not my taint sweat.
Oh, it's his ball sweat. Sorry.
Close enough. My hard work, at least. It would be cool. But yeah, guys, make sure if you are watching this video and you have not already liked it and subscribed, go ahead and do that for us. Help us get more out to your friends. As always, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking in and hanging out with the Bama Sports Show. We will see you guys on Friday. Ryan, I'll see you, my guy.
See ya.